What's up, guys? I'm doing a Gravekeeper deck profile. I've been really enjoying playing this deck. I know some of my card choices in this are a little bit weird, but I'm going to get into them and explain all of them. I actually went from a Diamond 5 to Diamond 3 running this, so it's pretty decent, and it has an okay swordsoul matchup if you go first, and that's a big if. But first we have 2 Maxi. I know running a hand trap when running card demise is weird, but you can always just use Maxi's effect arbitrarily and discard it and then activate card to demise. So, I mean, pretty good. You might as well do it if you're going to be discarding it anyway. But if you don't open it in card to demise, if you have this card and you're playing against swordsoul, which is everywhere right now, and soon to be adventure, which is going to be everywhere, this is going to be a really good option. Next, we have 3 Gravekeeper's Commander. This card lets you discard it from your hand to the graveyard and add a Necro Valley from your deck to your hand. Necro Valley is a very good card, and having easy access to it is even better. I love being able to run essentially with 3 terraforming, and it's also a body that when Necro Valley's out will have 2100 attack and 1900 defense. So, Necro Valley. All Gravekeeper monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Cards in the graveyard cannot be banished. Great effect. Negate any card that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. Also a great effect. And negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. So this is like no graveyard effects rolled into one card, which is really good. This actually does stop Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer from reviving himself, as you'll see in one of the replays. And next we have 3 Gravekeeper's Heretic. This card is unaffected by all other card effects, as long as Necro Valley is also on the field. That means when you activate your Torrential Tribute to destroy everything, if you have Necro Valley, he stays. Next we have Gravekeeper Spiritualist. If you have Necro Valley on the field, you can fusion summon 1 Spellcaster Fusion monster from your extra deck, using this card to control and other monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. You can only use this effect of Gravekeeper Spiritualist once per turn. So that effect to special summon, most of the time you're going to use it to bring out Supernaturalist. Supernaturalist, any 2 Gravekeeper monsters, gains attack and defense equal to the combined original levels of materials used for its fusion summon times 100. While Necro Valley is on the field, this card and any card in your field zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. So basically he's going to gain 800 attack because all your guys are level 4s. And then once again, during the main phase, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn, add a Gravekeeper monster or Necro Valley card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Gravekeeper Supernaturalist once per turn. Pretty good card. And so next we have Regeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Terraforming, because running Terraforming and 3 other Field Spell Searchers is something you definitely want, since Necro Valley is very important. 1 Royal Tribute. I see most people run 2, but I was bricking this, and I really don't like bricking this card. So I'm running 1. If you control Necro Valley, both players discard any monsters in their hand. So that's really good to just be like, oh, my opponent probably has hand traps. I'm going to play like the 1 GK in my hand, and then Royal Tribute the shit out of them. Next, we have Card to Demise. I'm running 3 copies because you really need resources in this deck and to continue replenishing your back row. So this is really important. Draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. During the end phase of this turn, send your entire hand to the graveyard. So if you're going to activate this, you open Max C, you might as well Max C before you activate it. You can only activate 1 Card to Demise per turn. You cannot special summon the turn you activate this card. Next we have 1 Pot of Duality. Excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand. After that, shuffle the rest back into your deck. You can only activate 1 Pot of Duality per turn. You cannot special summon during the turn you activate that card, and that's fine, since most of the time we just beat our opponent down with Heretic. And next we have 3 Necro Valley Throne. It's add a Gravekeeper's monster from your deck to your hand, or after this effect resolves, normal summon a Gravekeeper monster. You can activate 1 Necro Valley Throne per turn, only 1. Next we have 2 Pot of Extravagance, and I'm actually thinking about possibly running 3 and getting rid of one of the thrones, but we'll see. Pot Pot of Extravagance is good because you just really need resources with this deck. I'm not running 3 because I don't want to banish that much of my extra deck, because I do occasionally go into stuff like Crooked Cook or the Supernaturalist. If you lose the Supernaturalist when you banish for Ixchab, it's really not a big deal. And then next we have 3 Necro Valley. And then we have 2 Hidden Temples in the Necro Valley. If you have, activate only if you have both a Gravekeeper's monster and Necro Valley on the field. Neither player can special summon monsters except Gravekeeper monsters. If a Gravekeeper monster or Necro Valley is not on the field, destroy this card. So if you get this on the board when you have this and this, that is a good time, because they can't Regeki him off the board because Heretic's unaffected, and most of the time your back row will stop him from summoning stuff anyway. So this will just give you a really good kind of like Fossil Dyna effect. Next we have 3 Torrential Tribute. I love having a board wipe on my opponent's turn. I love even more that with Heretic he stays because he's unaffected by everything, including your own cards. Next we have 1 Evenly Match in case we go second and we really hate the going second matchup, or if they manage to board wipe us and we want to get rid of their board and then reestablish our own. Running anything more than 1, I kept getting it when I didn't need it, so we're just running the 1. 3 Dogmatic Punishment. If you don't like banishing so much from your extra deck, you can also run like Ice Dragon Prison, but I like the 3 Punishment, being able to target a monster my opponent controls, and then send from the extra deck something with equal attack or less. Equal attack or higher, and then destroying the monster is pretty good. Yes, you can only activate 1 per turn, and yes, you cannot special summon from the extra deck until the next turn if you activate it, but we don't really special summon from the extra deck very much anyway, and being able to send something like Fossil Warrior Skull Knight and then remove it from the grave to destroy a second card, it's a really good effect. So we're running 3 of them. Next we have 1 Solemn Judgment, 1 Solemn Warning, 2 Solemn Strike, and 2 Skill Drains. 3 Skill Drain was too bricky, but that's for the main deck, and you guys can also, if you really wanted to run different cards, there are some other Gravekeeper cards that are worth noting, like Necro Valley Temple. Blood Gravekeeper monster and Necro Valley are both on the field. Monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense, and once per turn during the main phase, if you control no card in your field zone, you can activate a Necro Valley from your hand or graveyard. If this card is in your possession, is destroyed by opponent's effect and sent to the graveyard, you can set a Necro Valley spell or trap directly from your deck except Necro Valley Temple. And Imperial Tombs the Necro Valley, which is if you have a GK and a Necro Valley on the field, and your opponent activates a spell trap or monster card effect, you can negate the activation and destroy it. And so those are the 2 most notable ones. Some people run 3 Hidden Temples, but I found it too bricky. And then Stell is target 2 Gravekeeper monsters in your graveyard, add them to your hand. This effect cannot be negated by Necro Valley. Also a good card. And then lastly, some people like to run this guy where you can just tribute a GK and he's level 8, and he makes this guy ridiculously powerful. That's pretty much just preference on what people like or not. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. I'm going to get right into the replays with you guys. And, oh wait, extra deck. We already went over Fossil Warrior. We already went over Supernaturalist. 3 Ultimate Dragons because it was 4,500 attack and punishment go burr. 1 Quintet Magician because you can actually make this card if for some reason you have 5 spellcasters and you feel like dunking on your opponent. You can actually make it with Spiritualist, and it's a big beat stick. This face-up card on the field cannot be tributed or used as fusion material or triggered by card effects. So if you want like a Towers-like effect and you have 5 GKs in your hand or on field when you have Spiritualist out, yeah, go ahead and make Quintet Magician. 1 Wind Pegasus for use with punishment. When this is in the graveyard, if your opponent destroys something by battle or card effect, you can remove it from the graveyard, target a card your opponent controls, and shuffle it into the deck. This card is really great because you can punishment, send it, and use it during the same turn. Next, we have one number 50 Black Ship Corn. I used this once. It's detach an XYZ. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls with less attack or equal to it in the graveyard. Send it to the graveyard. Clicked 1,000. Next, we have Exton. We've covered him before. And then next, we have Crooked Cook. If you have no other cards on the field, it's unaffected by other card effects. And once per turn, you can detach one. Destroy as many other cards on the field as possible, then gain 300 attack until the end of the turn for each monster destroyed by this effect and sent to the graveyard. 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and 1 Nightmare Unicorn. And that is it for the Gravekeepers list for Real this time. And I'm going to leave you with the replays. And before we go, as always, this video has been sponsored by W Energy. Use the link below in the code SirLargeGaming to get 10% off. I personally love the peach mango flavor. That one is currently my favorite, second being the peach dragon fruit. If you guys get energy drinks, this works out to being way cheaper than the energy drinks, and it gives me more energy. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.